Imagine driving your car, filling up the tank, and watching your fuel disappear like sand through your fingers. You follow every maintenance schedule, you change the oil on time, and yet, somehow, every single month, hundreds of dollars vanish at the gas pump. You don't see warning lights. The engine runs smooth. Nothing seems wrong. And still, your wallet is bleeding. Last month, I faced this exact scenario. Not once, not twice, but 17 times. 17 drivers. 17 cars. 17 stories. And every single one of them came in complaining about terrible fuel economy. But what shocked me the most wasn't the lost fuel. It was that none of them expected the culprit. It wasn't a dirty air filter, a failing fuel pump, or clogged injectors. No, it was something far smaller, far quieter, and far more expensive to ignore. A tiny sensor the size of your thumb, silently feeding the wrong information to your car's brain every second you drive. Let me take you inside one of these stories. A woman drove in one chilly Tuesday morning, her SUV gleaming in the soft light of my shop. Only 60,000 miles on the odometer, meticulously maintained, every service record neatly kept. She sat across from me, phone in hand, scrolling through months of fuel receipts. "I used to get almost 400 miles per tank," she said, her voice tinged with frustration. "Now, barely 250. Same commute, same gas, same driving habits." Her eyes told a story no words could. She felt powerless, confused, and honestly, a little defeated. I walked with her to the SUV, popped the hood, and scanned the engine bay. Everything was pristine. New air filter. No leaks. Battery terminals shiny, belts taut. I started the engine and listened closely. Smooth idle, not a single hiccup. In fact, by any casual inspection, this engine was perfect. But modern vehicles have secrets, and the costliest problems are often invisible. That's where the real detective work begins. I connected my professional-grade scanner to the car's diagnostic port. This is where the truth comes out. Numbers, codes, readings. The raw story your car is too polite to tell you with smoke or noise. The first thing I noticed, no warning lights, no error codes. Perfectly normal. Until I noticed the coolant temperature sensor reading. Here's what makes this so fascinating. The dashboard gauge showed a fully warmed engine, needle perfectly centered, heater blowing hot air as expected. But the sensor reading, 52 degrees Fahrenheit. Cold. Stone cold, like the engine had just been started on a freezing morning. I looked at her and asked, "How long does it take for your heater to warm up in the morning?" She paused. "Maybe a minute. Pretty fast, really." Exactly. That told me one thing. The thermostat, coolant circulation, dashboard gauge, all were fine. But deep inside, the engine's brain, the computer, was being lied to. And that lie was costing her a fortune every month. Here's the secret most people don't understand. Modern engines aren't controlled by one brain. They have dozens of sensors feeding a central computer, the engine control unit, ECU, which decides everything. How much fuel to inject, when to fire the spark plugs, how to adjust idle speed, control emissions, even optimize power delivery. And one of the most critical pieces of data, engine temperature. When the engine is genuinely cold, it needs more fuel, sometimes 50% more in extreme cases. That extra fuel ensures the engine starts smoothly and warms up safely. But what happens when the sensor responsible for this reading fails in a very specific way? The ECU thinks the engine is always cold, so it keeps dumping fuel. Every mile, every stoplight, every highway cruise. Fuel literally burning away unnecessarily, silently draining your wallet. I showed the driver the scanner screen. "See this? 52 degrees Fahrenheit. But your dashboard shows normal, right?" She nodded, wide-eyed. That one little sensor has been forcing your engine to use almost 40% more fuel than necessary for months. And the worst part? You'd never know from how the car feels. No rough idle, no strange sounds, no smoke, no warning lights. Everything works perfectly fine. Except your fuel economy, and your bank account tells a different story. Over the next 2 weeks, I diagnosed 16 more cars with the exact same problem. Trucks, sedans, SUVs, domestic, imports, luxury, economy, it didn't matter. Different brands, different engines, different owners. Same tiny sensor causing massive fuel wastage. One truck owner thought his truck's gas mileage dropped because it was getting old. He'd spent over $1,400 replacing fuel pumps, oxygen sensors, and cleaning the system, none of it solving the problem. The real culprit? A $15 sensor. $15. Now, let me explain why this sensor is so sneaky. The coolant temperature sensor is a thermistor, a resistor that changes resistance based on temperature. It tells the ECU exactly how hot the engine is. When it fails, it often doesn't die completely, it just lies, gradually reading colder than the reality. This causes the ECU to continuously enrich the fuel mixture, thinking the engine is in a permanent cold start condition. The cascading effects are fascinating and costly. Extra fuel burns in the cylinders, some washes down into the oil, contaminating it. Spark plugs get fouled. Catalytic converters get stressed and can eventually fail. Exhaust smells richer, and yet the engine still runs perfectly smooth. The chaos is silent, hidden beneath perfect operation. Here's how you can check it yourself. Even a basic OBD2 scanner is enough. Start the engine fully cold, scan the coolant temperature, compare it to ambient temperature. Take it for a 15 to 20 minute drive. Fully warmed up. The sensor should read 180 to 210 degrees Fahrenheit, depending on your vehicle. If it stays below that, or climbs too slowly, your sensor is lying, and your ECU is wasting fuel. Replacing the sensor is simple, even for beginners. Wait for the engine to fully cool. Safety first. Disconnect the electrical connector, unscrew the old sensor, check the threads, apply sealant if necessary, screw in the new sensor, reconnect, refill coolant. Check for leaks. Start the engine. Within minutes, you may notice subtle improvements. Idle settles, exhaust smell normalizes, but the real benefit shows over the next few tanks. Fuel economy jumps, often 15% to 50%, depending on how badly the old sensor failed. Here's a tip. After replacement, let the computer relearn normal operation. Drive normally, mix city and highway, avoid aggressive starts or towing heavy loads. Over a few drive cycles, the ECU recalibrates and fuel economy stabilizes at the new, efficient level. Prevention is key. Maintain your cooling system, replace degraded coolant on schedule, and consider replacing the sensor whenever you service related components like the thermostat or radiator. Track your fuel economy consistently. It's your early warning system. A sudden 10 to 15% drop in miles per gallon without explanation is a red flag. Remember, the costliest problems aren't the dramatic breakdowns. They're the quiet, invisible issues that silently drain your wallet over months and years. Failed sensors, vacuum leaks, stuck thermostats, these quietly chip away at your money while everything seems fine. One small sensor can cost you hundreds, even thousands, if ignored. One story that always stays with me: a young woman, working 2 jobs, brought in her first car. Fuel was eating up almost $420 per month. After diagnosing a failed coolant temperature sensor, the repair cost $98. Her fuel economy jumped from 18.4 to 30.7 miles per gallon. She was saving over $220 every month, money she desperately needed. And all because someone knew how to read the data and apply proper diagnostics. The lesson: you don't need decades of mechanical experience or expensive equipment to protect yourself. You just need to know what to look for, how to read it, and how to act. A small investment in understanding your car's sensors and maintenance can save you thousands over time. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever noticed sudden, unexplained drops in fuel economy? Maybe your car feels fine, yet the gas costs keep rising. Share your story in the comments, and tell me where you're watching from. I love seeing viewers from around the world, and it helps me tailor tips to your environment and vehicles. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe for more insider car care tips, and share this video with anyone who's been frustrated by fuel costs. This information could literally save them hundreds every year. And remember, your car is only as smart as the sensors feeding its brain. Learn to read them, and you'll be in control of your fuel, your maintenance, and your money.